remaining.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Game Show Global Cup. We have the second day of the LAN, and it's now being played between Enso and ScaryFaceZ. Two games, we're still forming groups, and I think that's all we're going to be doing here, so no best of threes or anything like that. It's just going to be just a couple of games. I just, by chance or whatever, have not actually seen Enso play yet. They were all on the other stream yesterday, but I have seen ScaryFaceZ looking kind of mediocre, so we'll see if they can pull it through. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Llamadownunder for these games. It's late. You ready to do this?
I'm very excited. I just got off of an amazing best of 3, and already we have some interesting bans out, which means we're going to have interesting stuff in the pool as well.
Oh yeah, Night Stalker getting an early ban out, so we're probably going to be seeing that for a little bit more in this patch, at least more often. Io, Doom, and Darkseer. Some of the more consistent heroes, Doom, of course, the one that's a little bit more variable since team is still trying to figure him out, but for the most part, most people would agree Doom is pretty good in this patch. His Scorched Earth makes him damn difficult to kill, and we've seen picks of Doombringer actually warrant instant response picks of Ancient Apparition just to try to get rid of that healing.
Yep, definitely. So the other pretty standard stuff, though, other than that, from the Queen of Pain and the Wyvern, I'm excited to see. I've just seen Wyverns playing out of their minds with Winter's Curse. It's something that it does reduce. It's interesting to put it with a Quap because the Winter's Curse reduces 70% of the damage for targets attacking the cursed unit. So Quap might lose a lot of damage on the Sonic Wave, but it's still a fantastic combo, and especially if you use it on a support, the carries kill off their own support, and if you time the Sonic Wave right after, it can be a beautiful combo. So, Jakiro though, when did you become second pick material?
Like in 0.66 or something like that.
So
since then he hasn't been there, but hey, you know what? If you're gonna go for an aggressive strategy, you might as well highly pick up those heroes that fit very well into your aggressive strategy. I do not think that Jakiro is a good pick for the second spot. If you're gonna go for it, then yeah, I mean, just build around the Jakiro, try to get him last, and if not, replace him with like a Venomancer or a Clinks or one of those other heroes that can do a lot of damage to those towers. By getting this Jakiro second, Enso show their hand. Like, there's pretty much no other way to play a Jakiro. I guess you could try to play it slowly, but I mean, you're picking up a Jakiro second.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they adapt their draft for this, and as you said, a bit dangerous to show all that stuff, but we're gonna have Shadow Fiend banned out. I mean, I wonder if maybe Enso is trying to do an early push timing. I'm just not sure yet. Not enough seen. Shadow Fiend banned out, TA banned out. TA, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, I was like, you have the, well, I'm not quite seeing why TA is so special, but a lot of these players know how to play her really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another one of those heroes that can go towards the mid lane, first of all. Has an okay matchup versus Queen of Pain, and also is able to be super, super explosive. Like, if you're going to go for the timing rotation push strategy, you want a hero that can get active early on and then just stay active, and Templar Assassin does that very early. Queen of Pain would have also fit into Enso's game plans there. Obviously that's not going to happen. ScaryFaceZ have that hero, but looking at the Ancient Apparition and now the Shadow Fiend out, so it does look like Enso are just trying to protect their Templar Assassin as much as possible. Interesting to see this Ancient Apparition ban out. So far they don't have any healing, but this does indicate that they want to go for some in the future, and I don't know how deep they want to go in that. Is it going to be... Oh, well, it worked out well for ScaryFaceZ, I guess.
Yeah, ScaryFaceZ got really lucky with that AA ban out. I think Enso was maybe going to try to do one of those healing up with the Witch Doctor or the Dazzle, and someone didn't want to have that contested, and now ScaryFaceZ get the Huskar with one of his biggest nemesis out of the pool. So the only other thing he has to really worry about here is Windrunner, and without the AA, she's not nearly as scary.
Yeah, we also do see Bane as a common pickup to Huskar versus Huskar. Get that pure damage, get that lockdown, and if worse comes to worse, you just put him to sleep and just ignore him. Doom, Ancient Apparition, the big one's out, and it is going to be the Dazzle pick for Enso. I mean, this Ancient Apparition ban out, I guess it does kind of protect the Dazzle. It protects their mech carrier if anyone is going to be getting a mech. But at the same time, this is paving the road for Huskars, paving the road for Undying, two heroes that do struggle somewhat up against that Ancient Apparition, as Undying does have that heal, does have the Decay, which increases his health, but it just doesn't work up against that Ice effect. And so he's going to grab the Death Prophet. Okay. Seen some teams experiment with this. I know our resident player, expert caster, Kefka, just ran this a couple days ago and won with it, I believe. So if you're going to go for push, you might as well go all in the push, right?
Yeah, and they're trying to go for the snowball lineup, and that's why they banned the AA, obviously, for the heal. Also, just because AA does pretty well, can be elsewhere and deal with some of that deep push. But going the Death Ball means that if your Death Ball doesn't work out, you get heavily punished. And there's often no way back in, especially with someone like a Death Prophet. She doesn't have any of, she's not one of those scaling carries, so gonna be interesting to see. In the meantime, Undying, with the changes to Tombstone, not sure how effective he's going to be against this push.
Hopefully the spirits don't, like, bug out and insta-kill the Tombstone, because that would suck. I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen, but who knows nowadays? I haven't seen Death Prophet in forever, but that interaction should not work. But if it does, then rip ScaryFaceZ. At least their Tombstone's going to be looking pretty bad here. Yeah, I mean, the Death Prophet and Jakiro can push very quickly, very safely. Death Prophet, the best way to deal with her, of course, is to blast her down, nuke her down. Dazzle and Tusk do provide quite a bit of defensive power versus what ScaryFaceZ have. Like, you want to jump on her with Huskar, you want to use the curse on her, but actually killing her off, I mean, that's definitely going to be a different issue entirely. So I do like how ScaryFaceZ are very well equipped to fight early. Now with an Invoker pick, they're going to look to stall the push.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is actually going to be my first Invoker. I've been waiting for an Invoker game that feels like years since the patch happened. And as you said, he's got a lot of utility for stalling out these pushes. I don't know, though, because if he doesn't win his lane very heavily, right, Invoker's a hero who needs levels to have the maximum effectiveness. That's why we see him go Midas. It feels like if they do have good rotations, which you certainly can do with a Tusk Dazzle combo, the Invoker playing from behind, he's not going to stop anything.
Yeah, it is really rough once you get behind as Invoker to get back into it, especially if you go for a Wex build. Going for a Tornado EMP, it's nice, but not going to get you any kills anytime soon. He wants to, if he is going for that Wex build, which is slightly more common than Extort nowadays and should be a little bit better with ScaryFaceZ draft, look for the Orchid, look for the Assassinations, just look to land EMPs. Doing that is going to be so huge for the ScaryFaceZ side. And now we have a Juggernaut last pick for Enso. Not going to be the classic old, Juggernaut Enchantress, Juggernaut Chen, timing push your towers at like 5 minutes in. But now with the Healing Ward, the Ancient Apparition ban, first of all, making a lot more sense, and is going to give that much more extra sustain to the already tanky-oriented heroes of Death Prophet and Jakiro.
Definitely, and this is getting... It's an all-in draft. They have to hit their timings for Enso, but if ScaryFaceZ doesn't play well against it, of course the Death Ball will begin. And the other thing that's worrisome, like ScaryFaceZ has picked a lineup that can fight early, and Queen of Pain certainly has a good amount of wave clear, but they suffer from similar issues in that if Huskar doesn't get a good start, he doesn't super carry late game either. So
I didn't crash.
Yes, they have apparently patched that. I have not been crashing as much recently. Surprise!
I'm scared of
Congratulations!
moving the camera because I think I might break something, but it seems like we're actually good. So here we go, guys. No black screen for us today. Yeah, the ScaryFaceZ lineup, they're not as all in this early game. Like between Queen of Pain, Invoker, and Huskar, their late game is pretty substantial. And so I mean they do have a Juggernaut, but odds are just grouping up with the team, trying to go for these pushes, will reduce his gold income, reduce his experience income, or reduce his experience income, most importantly. And though he does have a pretty good matchup versus the Huskar, and honestly so does the Death Prophet, Huskar is probably just going to get more farm in general. So yeah, we'll see if Enso are going to be able to get their push off, and we'll see if ScaryFaceZ are able to win if they do defend against the push. It's going to be interesting to see for sure. But let's see who's going to be playing what on the ScaryFaceZ side. We got Shadowy playing the Undying over towards the offlane. General is on the Invoker. Saw him yesterday do really well. State is going to be on the Queen of Pain right now. We got Eknard on the Winter Wyvern. That leaves 666 on the Huskar. Looks like it's going to be a dual offlane of Quap Undying, likely up against the Enso safe lane.
Yeah, and then on You did not introduce Enso, did you?
No.
Sorry. I was just double checking. I was looking over some inventory items and was getting a little bit confused, but we'll go into that later. Death Prophet being played up by ILTW. Iltwa? That's what you're called now? I don't know. We'll figure out how to say that one. We've got Misha on the Jakiro, headed down bottom with Tusk on Nausea. This lane is going to be really awful for the Huskar. Just gonna get a lot of harass, and that's the whole point of the lane. While we have Sting on Dazzle and Muriel on the Jug finally with a pretty funky set. This is one of those really common stop the safe laner from farming lanes on Enso. And Huskar, he went the Ring of Protection, which isn't going to be doing any protecting because a lot of this damage coming out is going to be magical. So yeah, he has the Berserker's Blood, but it doesn't do anything early levels.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough off lane for him. He will be able to return harassment somewhat because of just the way Huskar operates. Actually killing off Huskar may be a little bit difficult, but harassing him is definitely going to be a lot easier. Conversely, on the other off lane for the Radiant, we have a situation where Juggernaut is just going to get absolutely smashed here. The Dazzle isn't really going to be able to help him that much. He's going to start pulling and whatnot, you know, doing general support things. But Juggernaut doesn't start things off being really tanky. He's below 400 max HP right now, which is 2 decays. And just with Queen of Pain there, they do have enough threat here to not only chip at Muriel, but also just blink in and straight up kill him. So this Juggernaut has to be super careful and is probably going to be in a lot more danger than the Huskar who's on the off lane.
Yeah, both of these lanes, though, awful for the carry, so a lot of this business is going to come down to this mid matchup and who can do better here, which is kind of funny. Not usually how we see things going. So we'll see if General can beat out the Death Prophet. And again, if the Death Prophet snowballs, it's going to be rough, I think, even with tools like the Tombstone and the Sonic Wave to deal with it. But an EMP already coming out, wanting to make sure Death Prophet's having a hard time in lane. So
that's actually the second EMP casted so far. I don't think I've ever seen a level 1 EMP casted on a level 2 Invoker, let alone land. It actually costs him more mana than it depletes on the Death Prophet.
Yeah, but he gets forced to use some regen, and I think he actually, I have no idea what he's going to go. If he's casting so many spells, he might be going on bottle. We can see the couriers coming out. No, he's going the boots. And down bottom, we got some action. Huskar manages to get the first blood, but it turns around and he goes down. And that's what you were talking about, right? Even with just, he only has 1 point in both the Burning Spears and the Berserker's Blood, but he was getting the damage output necessary to burn someone down.
Jakiro outputs his damage pretty slowly. Tusk only being level 2 lacks that burst, and wow, okay. I'm just off, apparently, because I'm just missing everything today.
It was very quick.
Check out right now. Death Prophet gonna grab a kill on the Invoker. Really should not be happening. Looks like Invoker tried to man-fight the Death Prophet and fell very short. Invoker only having 1 Quas, 1 Wex is not a good fighter, and is nowhere close to the damage output of a Death Prophet who has a nuke. Like, that in itself is gonna make her win.
They were doing the dancing thing, where they were both very low and just exchanging auto attacks, like you said, and then Invoker seemed to be like, oh, oops, she has the Crypt Swarm, and started trying to run away, and she's like, it's a long line, like you're dead. You know where to run, General. So, either way. Mid, because of that, Death Prophet's a little bit ahead, but it's actually still surprisingly even. And Misha taking huge amounts of damage to Hero in this bottom lane. I'm kind of surprised by this. I do think Arctic Burn, obviously very powerful there. Arctic Burn combined with Burning Spears, probably doing a lot of damage there, but kind of expected this Jakiro Tusk lane to do a little better.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty dangerous, but after having died once to this Huskar rather, yeah, they're going to be a little bit more scared. They do get the kill on the Huskar in the end, but they're going to respect this lane a lot more, and actually killing off the Huskar is going to be super costly, simply because he's just a naturally bulky hero. Like, he's at 700 HP. Just grinding through all of that, not to mention the Berserker's Blood, is going to be kind of tough. Up towards top lane, the Juggernaut does not have that threat. Like, if you go for the Juggernaut, yeah, you have to fear the spin, but that's about all you do have to fear. State's poking at him very consistently, as is the Undying, who is still actually working with quite a bit of mana, considering how many decays he's throwing out there. Onto Sting right now, who's going to get his Clarity canceled. A lot of trouble, Soul Rip! And he's going to get bursted down. No time for Grave or heal. He did not expect that burst, and at the same time, Jakiro's going to fall down towards bottom, as they do just get on top of him with the Arctic Burn. That's 2 kills across the map here for ScaryFaceZ, and for Enso, you're going for this timing push strategy, you can't afford to die. That slows down your push every single time you do, and they really can't afford to slow down anymore.
I think it's one of those things where already this early on, they might be feeling it's a little bit too early to call it, but definitely when you go for these early game timed pushes, you really itemize. It's actually an Invis Tusk. I don't think he can do anything just because it is a Queen of Pain unless he snowballs right on top of her, but even then, she'll just blink away. But something with these timing pushes you have to be very careful about is you often go a lot of aura mid-game items like the drums, like the Aquila. And if you've suddenly realized, hey, our lineup isn't going to work early, we're going to have to go late, you need to not go those items because it's just really wasted time. General putting the cold snap out, but here comes Snowball, and there's actually the ultimate coming out. Nice exorcism, going to do quite a bit of damage, but nobody going down, and TP's forced.
Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of nice you force out the Undying. You get the Invoker into this lane. He's going to get healed up quite a bit, however, and Embrace is going to keep the Invoker and everyone else very safe against the Spirits. He's going to throw a Tornado, but again, with these Spirits here, you cannot kill off this Death Prophet without taking some significant hits. Death Prophet, though, that's our first Exorcism. It's a level 6 Exorcism, which is something we don't really see. I mean, when we used to see Death Prophet, usually you would wait to level 8, 9, get the level 4 into Witchcraft, because you do need that Crypt Swarm to hold the lane. She is even with the Invoker, but honestly I think Death Prophet should be ahead, especially up against a Wex Invoker who is hitting much softer than an Exhort Invoker. Like, with maxed out Crypt Swarm, you could be dominating this lane as a Death Prophet, but having gone for level 3 Witchcraft is, not as strong, so certainly biting the Death Prophet in the ass right now is going to need to get those levels up before she's able to very effectively throw out another Exorcism and just demolish that tier 1, which is, again, the game plan here for Enso. Working with level 2 Liquid Fire down towards bottom, should soon be level 3. And it is probably going to be level 3 right now. But as far as coming together and pushing, not going to happen just yet. State's going to run into the Death Prophet. Immediately is going to blink out. Has a salve, has a bottle, and look at that, a bottle refill. So State's not going to get punished just yet, but Queen of Pain already is on the roam. And this is the aggressive playstyle that ScaryFaceZ are going to try to use to dislodge Enso from their comfort zone.
Life break in the bottom lane though, and now they are snowballing in. Can they get the Husker before he gets them? No way they can with that cold embrace, and Misha gonna fall again. And we're just seeing the power of this heal up lane, not having the AA or anything to stop all of that healing. Oh, he wouldn't have level 6 anyway at this point, so moot. But yeah, Enso, their bottom lane, I think it's maybe time to just rotate those heroes and go for a gank, and in the meantime, Quap and Invoker, they're searching for something that they... Actually, I don't know if they went on the jug or they just decided to back out.
Dazzle. He dropped down to 2 HP, 2 mana,
oh,
so he had like absolutely no resources left, but Grave is a good spell, so he was able to survive. I mean, it was just the Grave, sometimes shit happens if you're ScaryFaceZ. In general, in the last game we saw from his Invoker, he was really hesitant about pulling the trigger on a Sunstrike. They're going to jump into the Death Prophet. Shadow Strike, Cold Snap does a lot of damage. They're going to chase her down. Grave not available. Sting actually has everything on cooldown still. Why is his spell on cooldown? He just teleported from the base. I don't know why that is, but Death Prophet, either way, was probably going to die. Just so much damage over time from being able to consistently proc that Cold Snap down towards the bottom lane. 6 is going to get jumped right now by Misha. He's going to put up the Embrace on himself. He has a Life Break. He's going to jump over the shards, get on top of the Jakiro, and bring him down. He'll die to the tower. But in a situation where you force the Juggernaut to rotate in, you're able to get a retaliation kill. It's a good spot to be. Eknart is going to try to teleport out of here. There's no mana for the Snowball. Eknart's just going to fly away. And Juggernaut, unfortunately, is 10 mana away from having Omni Slash there, which doesn't mini-stun anymore, but will just burst down the Winter Wyvern. State's going to come in right now. Throws a dagger onto Nausea. He has a Sonic Wave, and he'll have a free chance to use it, given the Snowball's already been used. Don't miss, State. Sonic Wave will completely miss, actually. Did I just jinx him? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm sorry, State. That was my bad. He's now going to try to pick a man fight with Nausea. Shadow Strike is going to get the kill here. Undying now dropping the Tombstone. Decay onto Muriel. Seems like not many zombies are actually spawning on him, however, so he will just walk out of there. But yeah, maybe I should not mention the Sonic Wave anymore. That was kind of mean of me.
No, it happens to the best of us though, but yeah, suddenly pulling probably when this settles down 5,000, oh no, not quite 5,000 net worth ahead, but ScaryFaceZ is taking a dominant lead. You can't do this group up push lineup, and we're seeing how it doesn't work. Oh, they're going again on Dazzle in the back lines. Sting taking a lot of damage, trying to do that TP out, and now they're just going to go on the rest of the heroes. They're trying to use the Exorcism to do some good work on Husker. Of course, it is physical damage. Dazzle does end up going down in the fountain, I think. We've got a spin on Eknot. Cold Embrace not going to save him this time because he is not the Husker. Husker raid boss finally going down again. Undying going to pop as well. So just as I say, oh goodness, Invoker still going in with the EMP, might pick off Misha. Misha actually needs one more auto attack to go down and does to the tower, but General gonna be walking it off. Ice Shards. Oh, they do actually connect. Holy cow, those are the best Ice Shards I've ever seen. General probably gonna... Oh, they need 2 more auto attacks and the spirits die. So, Not quite the best.
Snowball.
Oh, no, they have the snowball
Run,
coming out. He does
General.
turn invisible, but then it'll hit him. Nice AoE there. So just as I was saying, I was really worried for Enso. Don't think they can do this group up lineup anymore. They take a team fight, and that net worth is going to go right back down to 0.
Huskar is working with his armlet right now. Unfortunately messed up in the midst of that fight. It's very easy to mess up given the amount of damage over time here on Enso. Mostly the exorcism, which is, I mean, armlet protects against somewhat because it just gives armor, but for the most part, it is difficult for Huskar to armlet surf in this game. With Jakiro in the field, Juggernaut with maxed out Blade Fury. It doesn't do that much damage up against the Berserker's Blood, granted, but it's still definitely enough. So ScaryFaceZ botched that one. They're also just caught in a really vulnerable position. They take out the Dazzle beforehand, a little bit more to the north of that, but being all clustered up for Enso, trying to run away from a Death Prophet through those trees. Even with a great EMP tornado there from General, it's just not going to be enough to salvage that. So it is still the ScaryFaceZ side to have a net worth lead on the Huskar, on the Invoker. So they're working with a lot of threat right now. And so they have yet to take any towers. So as nice as it is to win a team fight, really the goal of this lineup is to take all the structures. And they are currently failing in that goal. Granted, it's not too late for them to step up the heat, but as ScaryFaceZ get more levels, get these big items up, i.e. the armlet on the Huskar, Orchid on General, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Enso to group up.
Yeah. So, looking rough. The other thing I want to mention is the Cold Embrace and the Huskar makes him pretty much, the Cold Embrace on the Huskar we saw earlier makes him pretty much immune to match any type of damage. It's like having a free BKB and Ghost Scepter, I guess, because he, with that just 2 points in Berserker's Blood, was taking no damage at half health to things like Spin.
Yeah.
So
he is... Level 2.
Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous. I hadn't ever seen that exact interaction before. And, yeah. Oh, goodness. Winter Wyvern goes down. I completely missed that. Looks like Jug just used the Omni Slash. Yep. And Wyvern, you can't flap away from that, but he got the Life Break. Huskar going for the Dunk Muriel. That health ward, dude, that isn't going to save you at all. So, Huskar's very happy to get that type of dunk. Now here comes some physical damage going down, but not going to have to worry about it. Is Omelette toggling away? A Death Prophet uses the ult, but they're doing Roche.
This is going to be a pretty fast one. Level 1 Exorcism only right now, but they do have the Medallion. And at this timing, you don't really expect that from ScaryFaceZ, although General is pretty quick. He is going right in the correct direction, and they're going to catch them right now. General, unfortunately, does not have his skills up. He's going to Ghost Walk, get full vision right now. He's trapped in there, but he's looking for the steal. Can he get it? No, he can't. Aegis now picked up. They will immediately burn the Aegis, or they should, but General's going to get ground down by the Ghosts. They will deploy the Sonic Wave, kill off the Death Prophet. That's Exorcism down, and they're going to force the Jakiro out of here. The Death Prophet's going to revive, but she has no Exorcism. She's going to get burst down immediately, giving a double kill to State. That was the power, I guess, of Snowball Death Prophet. It is a pretty ridiculous combo if you can actually get it to land, and Invoker was sure feeling that one. But still for Enso, they take the Aegis, I guess. They immediately lose it. They lose a lot more as ScaryFaceZ only give up their Invoker for that. Gain about 1,000 gold and gain about 1,000 net experience off of it. With Queen of Pain grabbing those 2 kills, that was a really big trade there for ScaryFaceZ.
Yeah, again, ScaryFaceZ is now about 5,000 gold lead ahead again, even after that botched team fight at the bottom tier 1 tower. Queen of Pain getting very big. She's over halfway towards Ags if that's what she wants, which I assume because the Invoker has the Orchid. He actually managed to catch Mr. Tusk on the EMP. Oh no, the EMP is not going to hit. He hits him with the Cyclone though. The Cyclone Tornado, which is called both. He snowballs in aggressively, not quite sure what Nosy is doing. He's gonna take a life break from the. Nope, the life break actually goes over there. He just took a bunch of the missiles. Dazzle gonna use that. Oh, the Winter's Curse. It just goes all wrong. Dazzle tried to Shallow Grave up one of his allies who inevitably died in the Winter's Curse, getting the kill on all of them. So suddenly we're 16-9.
That was great focus fire there from ScaryFaceZ. They used the curse on the Dazzle, locked down both the Dazzle and the Death Prophet there. They know that the Tusk is dead. Like, he snowballed in because that's the only move he had at the time. So if you're in a position that bad as Tusk, you're just not going to get out of there. Pretty much no questions asked. So ScaryFaceZ don't overcommit their resources to kill off a Tusk. They go for the multiple kills and they jump on the correct targets with the correct spells. So 16-9 right now, and ScaryFaceZ not only taking a whole buttload of kills, but also deploying or crushing rather the mid lane of all its towers. That's tier 2 down for ScaryFaceZ side. I mean, yeah, Huskar is known to do a lot of damage. Invoker, Queen of Pain, kind of strong in this stage as well, but Enso currently have still taking 0 towers. They have good observer wards. That's nice, but you know what? You still need to actually use this liquid fire because Jakiro so far has done absolutely nothing. The Death Prophet ultimates have gotten a couple kills, but still you need more out of this hero. The ultimate has such a long cooldown. If you're just using it to get a Roshan, then you're immediately losing the Aegis. That's just not worth it. And now they're going to lose another tier 1 towers. Enso are going to be forced on the defense. Tornado's going to be deployed. Will hit onto the hero. EMP is there as well. Not going to connect onto anyone, but now the Tusk's going to get a little bit too far ahead. He's going to try to go for the General right now. Sonic Wave through, plus the Embrace in General is going to keep him perfectly alive. Even sitting in the Macro Pyre. Nausea will get dropped to something here. Probably the Tombstone damage. Muriel's going to jump to the back line, trying to kill off Ramses. He will fall short though. Now with the Armlet toggle, Muriel's going to get hit with the spears and he will burn. The Exorcism is still ticking, and it looks like the spirits don't bug out on the Tombstone, don't instantly kill it off. Eknar's going to show his position in the trees, but Ramses is still here right now. Huskar is going to kill off the tower first of all. Eknar is going to embrace himself and jump in back from state. He's going to get the kill there, and now they're on to the Death Prophet, who's completely tapped out of mana. Still has Eknar in a corner, and Eknar is probably just going to die here. A little bit awkward place for a Winter Wyvern to be, but now the Death Prophet is also stuck there, and State's going to jump right in. The Exorcism runs out. She's going to get a silence out, heal from the Dazzle, trying to fight to the death with the Queen of Pain. That's not going to work. General's going behind the tier 2. Drop the Cold Snap on a Sting, doing so much damage, but we'll decide to just leave with that Ghost Walk. So the shards may hit. Oh, actually, no. 666 is still here. Ramses wants blood. He's going to put up the heal on himself. Snowball's going to connect Walrus Punch as well, but just doesn't do enough damage right now. With the spear, 6 is going to turn around and man fight. Will fall ultimately, though, as Muriel also is going to come in. He's arriving a little bit too late. But after all is said and done, I would say for the most part that should have been an even numeric kill trade, but still the tower to fall and Enso are fighting on the defense. They're not pushing anytime soon.
Yeah, the other thing that was a bit ridiculous there, I haven't seen this interaction as much just because of Death Prophet play. She got really unlucky with what the spirits attacked. I feel like there were a couple of times there that Huskar just wasn't targeted. It was also nighttime, so there were fog issues and so on. But the spirits didn't hit the Huskar in a couple times when he armlets toggled, so he got very lucky there. Let's talk a little bit about late game though, because that's Enso has to now start playing for that, right? You don't have the snowball opportunities at all. Your heroes are meant to be coming online in about 5 minutes, but you're certainly not there. I think with a Jug, you can definitely itemize to go later. You can also have the Tusk maybe help out, but against an Invoker, Huskar, Queen of Pain, it's a little bit difficult. At least the Huskar will fall off, but the Queen of Pain and the Invoker have a lot longer that they can live in this game.
Yeah, and Huskar, like, he only really falls off if he stops getting kills, but he's not. Like, he's 10, 4, and 5. He has what should be a Heaven's Halberd coming up, and then Juggernaut is just a useless hero. At this point, if you're Juggernaut, you put 4 points into the Blade Fury, which is like 3 more than usual. You have only 1 crit right now. You're not that useful as a right-clicker. You are just a pure spellcaster. You're a burster. And he's not doing his job. Tornado is going to connect onto a couple. EMP is there as well. Sonic Wave going to cut through. Even through the Snowball, it does damage. And now they're going to try to go for Ramses, but the Curse is going to be deployed immediately onto Nausea. Kill him off in an instant. Muriel's gets the Omni Slash off. Kills off the Tusk, yes, but now you have to deal with the Invoker and the Queen of Pain. Muriel's trying to hook it. Will not be successful. Grave Run to the Death Prophet's going to keep her alive for a little while longer, but State's going to catch up to him with a blink, grab a double kill with the Scream of Pain. That's a 1 for 5 trade. And I think the most insulting thing is that everyone else who's surviving that from ScaryFaceZ, they're still super healthy.
Yeah, they're super healthy. It helps that they have this Cold Embrace and the Soul Rip, but they should be able to take at least the tier 3 here. Luckily for Enso, the cooldowns for their deaths are pretty low, but they have a lot of sustain for sieging this. Eknot can always just Cold Embrace one of the creeps and they can have it tank forever, so not quite sure how Enso is getting back into this one. We've got some TPs out already. The tower, the tier 3 is going to fall. Don't know if they're going to stay for the racks. Queen of Pain certainly wants to, but she has a blink. We've got a Snowball in onto State, but gonna blink out. Actually, it was onto Shadow, the nice little ice path to zone them from coming further in, but I don't know if that's what you want to do. You actually want them maybe pulled in and actually almost going down from the Sonic Wave. Shadow now taking quite a bit of damage from the spin, but it's a level. Oh, it's actually a max spin. That's interesting. We're gonna see Quap thinking about coming back in, and oh my goodness, has to use the Shallow Grave on the Juggernaut. They finally pick up Queen of Pain, but it is not enough. Nausea gonna go down as well.
How did General take absolutely no damage from that? I mean, I guess, yeah, you gotta try to go for the Queen of Pain. She is a pretty significant threat, but she's working with the Sonic Wave, whereas for General, he's just doing a lot of damage right now with the movement speed and the sticking power that he has from going for so many points in Wex. They do kill off the Queen of Pain. Yes, that's nice for Enso, but a new challenger is approaching. It's Ramses. He's back from the dead. He's going to take a pit stop in the jungle, it seems. Not going to rejoin the push up towards top. And it should be probably bottom tier 2 that's next to fall. And again, Enso, they need to be pushing. They did bring down a tier 1 tower, so I guess that's kind of nice for them. But now these items are coming up, and big ones at that. Heaven's Halberd on the Huskar. will just give him more bulk. Really, the Sanj is what he wants from that evasion, not going to be super useful in this game, at least not until much later. But General also does have his Orchid, and how he can play the I'm just going to Ghost Walk around and assassinate you type of play style that we do expect from Wex Invokers come the mid game. And for Enso, the game plan is to ball up, so they will be somewhat resistant to this Invoker, just by the nature of them all being close together. But if they're all close together, then I'm pretty sure Queen of Pain is going to be more than okay with that. Same thing for the Undying and Winter Wyvern. So Invoker just as a ghost walking scout at this point is honestly good enough for ScaryFaceZ. Like, they have so much power on all of their other heroes, they can afford to just have Invoker just use almost exclusively Ghost Walk. Obviously he's not going to, but he can.
And we have a smoke coming out of Enso. They need a godly smoke for this to work out. They're actually initiating onto State. They might be able to pick her up with the silence, and they do. Already a good start. The rest of their heroes coming in with the smoke. If they can also get Shadow, well worth it for them, considering how far behind they are. And it looks like they're getting him Ice Path off the Mark, but with that minus armor, and the Death Prophet souls doing lots of damage. What are they called? Ghosts? Spirits? We actually have a beautiful Tornado EMP. Gonna delay them up a lot, dodging the EMP actually on Death Prophet and his Roshan. Too late. Oh yeah, but Ramses goes and Sting needs to use that Shallow Grave, does manage it. They've actually stunned up Mr. Huskar. Maybe he's in too deep, but the spirits are gone. They're using the Omni Slash, but it's not doing enough, and there's the Winter's Curse. Nausea gonna go down pretty easily. Now do they have enough to pick up Huskar? I don't know, he's regenning up a lot. The Sonic Wave coming out, and Huskar might just kill them all off. 666 coming in. Prophet, is she gonna burn to death? She's in the fountain. She's probably fine, yeah.
But the rest of the team is not. Usually, I mean, being in the river like that is not good times, so Enso just getting caught out there, not exactly what they want. It's even made worse given the fact that Huskar was the only target there and they just could not kill him off. He got a full Omni Slash to the dome. He was going literally 1v4, no one else on ScaryFaceZ was tanking any damage at all, and still Renz was able to survive that. That's what you get when you have Heaven's Halberd, when you have a disgusting amount of armor being given by Helm of the Dominator, by Armlet, and, well, the Embrace from Eknard certainly didn't hurt either. I'm pretty sure there was a Medallion on 6 there as well, but, yeah, Queen of Pain did buy back for that, so it's slightly expensive for State, but, hey, you got a 3-man Sonic Wave, you cleaned house, you get the Aegis. Pretty sure that's worth it, and so they just need to take more open fights. They need to take smaller engagements, honestly. Against the high-level Invoker, Queen of Pain, and Huskar, there's no shot that they win in a 5v5 unless they do some ridiculous things with their Death Prophet. She needs to, like, pop Exorcism, stay in the Snowball, then get Ghost Scepter, then Yules herself, then get Yules by someone else with ScaryFaceZ. But, like, all that is not going to happen. I mean, ScaryFaceZ are just not going to do that. They're just going to instantly burst her down. So, the Death Prophet ultimate now being down for another 20 seconds means that this is a 20-second window for Huskar to go wild on this tier 3 tower and go for a Sigil. Ching, extra gold. EMP
yeah,
tornado.
needed that.
Catch onto the Jakiro. Suddenly no mana. Suddenly not much hope. 6 jumps right in. Snowball's gonna save Misha for a little while. Walrus punch with the Huskar, but he has an Aegis, and he's pretty much taking no damage here, even with Muriel's spin. They will drop the Jakiro eventually. 6 is still sitting in Macropyre and gaining HP. That's just stupid. He's gonna back off right now. Armlet is currently off. They force the buyback up from the Jakiro. And for ScaryFaceZ, they have no Sonic Wave for 30 seconds. Therefore, they chill for 30 seconds.
Yeah, and they can just wait out these spirits. Huskar going in super deep, ends up working out. They actually catch him on the backlines, but again, he does have the Aegis. Omni Slash jumping around, but then people being physically not unable to be damaged. Now we have Winter's Curse coming out onto the Death Prophet. She's up in the air, but her spirit's not doing maybe as much as she wants. Actually, good work on State. He managed to blink away at the last second. Now we have another life break onto Misha. The Shakiro just pulled back. He's gonna go down, and maybe Huskar gonna work on the rest of them. Aegis is gone, but oh goodness, with that Sonic Wave coming out, Huskar has a lot he can do. Tusk sacrificing himself for the cause, so he's gonna Walrus punch up, and he knows he's going down. Although he immediately buys back.
At this point for Enso, you see all the weak heroes of ScaryFaceZ. You gotta make something happen right now, but with no Exorcism, what is that gonna be? They're gonna kill the Queen of Pain with shards. That's a good start, but they gotta kill off the Huskar now. Snowball's gonna save the Tusk for a little while. It's going towards the Huskar. He's gonna jump right in towards Sting. Forces the Grave on the Dazzle. Good play already by the Huskar. He's gonna try to kill off the Dazzle through that Grave, and he may get the kill in the fountain right now. There's at the same time onto this Death Prophet. She already used both of her scepters, and she's gonna fall afterwards. Tombstone is still down now. Buyback from the Death Prophet. Enso may not lose now, but they're sure as hell not going to win from the situation. Nausea's going to jump right into Shadowy. The Embrace is going to keep him alive. Blade Fear is actually getting walled off by the shards. He can't get in there for the damage onto the Undying, and now he's just got to run another life break from Ramses. Jumps right into the Juggernaut, who is going to fall to the Burning Spears. Misha's back, so is the Death Prophet, but so many buybacks being spent by Enso. They know it. It's not even going to be enough to keep them in this game, as even if they were to hold, they would have spent, like, what, 5,000 gold on
Yeah.
buybacks already being behind, it's all over.
So definitely one of those things where Death Prophet, she can't be played from, well, not feeling like she can be played from behind still. And the Snowball, the Death Bowl lineup, Death Bowl didn't happen. So just kind of fell
Well, it
apart from
did.
there.
The other
Well,
way.
yeah, happened for the side who didn't draft it. So unfortunate, but we'll still be going to a game two because these are all two games, right?
Yep. All best of twos, 2-game series, whatever you want to call it. And for Enso, I do like the strategy. I don't really know if I like the approach in their draft. Like, they gave the enemy team Huskar, first of all, which just absolutely wrecked them. They showed the Jakiro card super early, and that was going to allow ScaryFaceZ to have all the time in the world to counterpick them. And we could see the result of that. 23 minutes in ScaryFaceZ with not what I would call a push draft. Just get in there with a Huskar draft, and they win the game. Guys, I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Llamadownunder, and we'll both be right back for game 2 between ScaryFaceZ and Enso. Don't go anywhere.